Doreen, can you understand me? 100%? Okay. What? Okay. Good evening. Welcome to the Partner in Excellence ceremony. It's certainly a little different than the dinner we expected to have this year. Even though there's no way to have that kind of dinner, there's no way we were going to let the opportunity to present our honorees with their incredibly well-deserved awards tonight. So we arranged this program. It's socially distanced. There are 24 of us in the 563 JM pack tonight with all the proper safety precautions in place. So enough about that, let's get the show on the road. We have a lot to celebrate. We had a great year last year. Another huge success with our latest celebrity dance-off, and there's more about that when I talk about our honorees later. Our Barnes & Noble book fair continues to be a community favorite. And our standout achievement for the year came when there was a very sudden pivot to learning from home. Distance learning grants of $500 were offered to all teachers who needed to set up their at-home classrooms. 93 grants for over $30,000 for cameras, manipulatives, butterflies, and books to be sent home, and the list goes on. I can honestly say that none of our board members could be more proud of the work we did during the pandemic for the kids working at home. Our Student Association thrived last year, expanding to Churchill and funding some great grants and hosting some fun fundraisers throughout the year. Last year, we made big changes in the way we approve and fund our grants, resulting in teachers receiving their grant materials within days of approval. And I have to give a special shout out to Dr. Valesky and Dr. Atkins, who was in the community relations seat at the time, for really clearing the way for us to recreate these processes for the kids in our schools. I'd also like to note that this was supposed to be a Partner in Excellence dinner, but also a dinner to induct the newest Hall of Fame members, Tony Yoseloff from the class of '92, who's a very generous supporter of all things East Brunswick, and Charlie Wachtel and David Rabinowitz from the class of 2005, Oscar and BAFTA winning screenwriters for their work on Black Klansmen. One last thought. When we were tossing around ideas for how to have tonight's event, someone on the dinner committee suggested the Jam Pack. Knowing it's not been used for events since the pandemic hit, I knew this was a big ask, and I have to give a huge thanks to our first speaker tonight, who made this all possible. Please welcome, and while you're welcoming him, help me thank Superintendent of Schools, Dr. Victor Valesky.
Thanks, Jack. Thanks, everyone, and good evening. Gathered here tonight under these circumstances, we must embrace the reality that we have spent the last 7 months being told what we cannot do. And that should not overshadow the meaning of tonight, honoring individuals who have demonstrated success by expanding their personal boundaries in the exploration of what they are capable of doing. Leslie, Joanne, and Jane all represent leadership. Leading in the classroom, leading a school building, and leading in our community. They all display what I like to call visible leadership. People get to see it. And in a couple of the folks, they get to hear it too. Jane, I'm not talking about you. Leslie, Joanne, and Jane are distinctly unique, but they share one commonality. And anyone who tries to emulate them must understand this foundational trait. Success comes as a result of hard work, determination, and perseverance. No does not exist in their primary vocabularies. And because of their shared trait, they are role models for new generation of leadership. New leaders who will need to be equipped to strategize, plan, and implement in a world transformed by our recent circumstances. One final thought. This pandemic and our national response to it has revealed both the worst and the best. But here in East Brunswick, I could not be prouder of tonight's honorees' responses to supporting students and their families. I also want to offer a heartfelt thank you to Jack, Paul, and the entire EBEF board for expediting mini grants to support our teachers operating from home in a virtual environment after pivoting to that untested instructional delivery literally at a moment's notice. That kind of flexibility and adaptability represents an organization whose mission is truly vested in support. So on behalf of the entire East Brunswick administrative team and the Board of Education, congratulations to Leslie, Joanne, and Jane on your tremendous honors tonight. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Valesky. Since we need to keep attendance to a minimum tonight, the folks who typically offer their congratulations in person have sent them in absentia. That includes so many past partners in excellence watching tonight. Board of Ed Chairperson Vicki Becker and EBEA President Dana Zimbicki, who's here in spirit. We are happy tonight, though, that Mayor Brad Cohn brought proclamations with him to share with our honorees. Mayor Cohn, would you like to say a few words?
Thank you, Jack. Actually, I sent those proclamations ahead of time because I didn't plan on being here today, but then circumstances changed and I was able to be here. But I don't ever really like to miss any of these events that really celebrates a legacy. And legacies are important to us here in town because, as most of you know, education has always been something that our town has been uniquely known for. People that moved back into East Brunswick in the 50s and 60s and 70s moved here because of our top-notch educational system. It has never, ever changed. It's still the number one reason that people move here, and you're part of a tremendous legacy, a history of devotion and commitment to the highest ideals for education. That's something that we would never, ever want to change. It is the shining reason that we spend so much time considering what the future of East Brunswick is going to look like through our own redevelopment plans. Last night at the Township Council meeting, we actually celebrated a group called Alpha Delta Kappa, which is a group of women who are excelling and commit back to their community of educators. That's really the sign of exactly what I think we're talking about here today. People who have made not only a commitment to the students, but to our community as a whole. Because when you're successful, the entire community is successful. We're counting on you for that. I congratulate every one of the honorees tonight for a well-deserved award. I was actually just speaking today to a group of students who are interested in politics. And I said to them, this is a year you will never forget. And on top of the fact that we're in the middle of a pandemic that happens once in a 100-year period of time, on top of that, you also have a financial crisis that likes of which we haven't seen since probably the Great Depression. We've got racial wars that I haven't seen since I was a little kid in the 60s, and I was really little then, so I don't really remember all of it, but these are unbelievably monumental times. People will always ask you what it was like in 2020. This will never be something that people will forget. But your contribution is something that we will never forget. And it makes us a much better institution, and it drives home the reason why each and every one of us call East Brunswick home. So I thank you for your contribution, and the proclamations were already sent. I shall make sure that each one of you get them. They are well deserved. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor Cohn. Also sending proclamations tonight and some video words, Assemblywoman Nancy Pinkin.
I'm Assemblywoman Nancy Pinkin. I'm joining you all tonight in our Zoom Education Foundation dinner, and first time we have had to do this in the Zoom format. But we want to recognize the Education Foundation for the great benefits they provide for our school system, providing funding for the teachers to be creative and come up with unusual programming so that we can graduate the stellar students that we are able to produce in East Brunswick. Education is number one in New Jersey and something we're all committed to maintaining. So tonight we're here to honor Joanne, Jane, and Leslie for all of their contributions, and we have the special honor to recognize the Hall of Fame inductees, including Anthony Yosoloff, who's a leader in finance, and Charlie Wachtel and David Rabinowitz, who produced and wrote Black Klansman, among other artistic accomplishments. So we have a resolution from the Senate and the General Assembly just recognizing the honorees for all of their accomplishments. And I just want to thank you all for joining us together tonight to recognize them. Have a great night, and I look forward to seeing you in person next year.
Thank you, Assemblywoman Pinkin. And now for our awards. Like every town, East Brunswick has its celebrities. You know, the people whose name everyone knows. Our first honoree is a town celebrity. You see her name on real estate signs all over town. She's in the newspaper, supermarket signs, and even in the men's locker room radio at New York Sports Club. One night, after an unsuccessful run for town council, which is their loss and our gain, I had a celebrity sighting. Jane came to one of our foundation meetings and joined our board. When we sat down to talk one time, I asked Jane why she ran for council and then came to EBEF. And she explained what she believes is the role of somebody who lives in a community. It's our obligation to contribute any way you can to make it better, a better place for people who live there. And she wants to give back, with time and financially where she can. Jane and I are very aligned in that way. And believe me that her actions match her words, so much so that with all the planning emails that went back and forth for this dinner, the end of every one said, "Let me know what I can do." Now this evening tonight is to honor you, Jane, so we're not going to let you do anything. This night is on us, and we just want to thank you for being one of our partners in excellence. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. I'm deeply honored and deeply humbled and grateful to receive this very prestigious award. Thank you. I'm very proud as a member of East Brunswick Education Foundation, and since 1993, the foundation has raised over $2 million. We support the teacher and the school programs via grants. I'm very, very happy, very proud to be part of it. Thank you. It takes a village to raise children, a child and children, and we should work together to help our kids to form their part of the future. And like our President Jack Levitt always say, if you have a time, please volunteer. If you have talent, please contribute. If you're blessed with financial availability, please donate. Together, we can make our town much better. Well, our town is great, but we can really work together to contribute to our part. My daughter, Maria Muller, is in 8th grade, just joined the Churchill. And a big shout, heartfelt thank you to our teachers and the excellent teachers. They work so hard to ensure our kids' education. And as a parents, as a community, we should come together to help the school, help the teacher, to help to educate our children. And if there's anything I can do, we can do together, and we definitely can make the education much easier for our teacher, much better for our children in the future. Be well, be healthy. God bless. Thank you.
Make sure you take your award.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much.
Earlier I said I would get back to you about the celebrity dance-off. I don't know that everybody knows the history of this event. Back when I was president and Joel Young was vice president, we were having dinner one night. Joel's cousin David was there and talked about a fundraiser he did out in Colorado, which was similar to the TV show Dancing with the Stars. And Joel said, we have to do this. So I took an entourage down to Cherry Hill because they had done this before to check it out. And the agreement was I was going to be the people-facing guy and Joel was going to be behind the scenes. While there were naysayers along the way, we were determined to make this happen. Joel recruited the dance studios and I recruited the dancers, and Joel took it from there. And let me define took it from there. Took it from there means hundreds, if not thousands, of emails being sent at all hours of the night. Spreadsheets that tested Excel's limits, designing ads, proofing a journal, tallying scores, replacing cast members, and I knew none of it. Every time I'd ask how it was going, Joel would say, it's fine. Tireless effort is not an adequate way to phrase what I heard went on. Dancing with the EB Stars was a hit, or so said the 700 people who sat in this very room 7 years ago last week. After a little rest and some distance from the event, Joel offered to produce the next Dancing with the Stars if he got promoted to executive producer, which was a bigger success. Then after we got sued for using the name and Joel handled all the legal stuff with our lawyer, Joel executive produced the next two EB Celebrity Dance-Off. The total we raised, $290,000. What do you think those naysayers are saying now? And you're probably wondering, why the heck are you talking about this now? Well, a few years ago, our board instituted a new award called the Unsung Hero Award for team members who work above and beyond the call of duty behind the scenes to make things successful. The purpose of the award is to briefly shine the light on the hard workers who prefer to stay out of it. Joel, you unsung hero you, tonight you're being sung. And it's only appropriate to have EB Celebrity Dance-Off trophy girl come out of retirement to bring your trophy out for you. So Joel, congratulations, my friend. Same rules.
Thank you, Jack.
You're welcome, Joel.
What a very nice surprise. I will say one thing. I don't have anything prepared, obviously, because I didn't know about this. But when I saw the video, and it wasn't I who said, we have to do this. It was Jack. And the whole time I kept saying, this is never going to happen. We're never going to pull this off, Jack. We're never going to pull this off, Jack. So I would say, while there was some effort put in, it's because Jack was pushing me the entire way. But thank you very much for the acknowledgement. I appreciate it.
Stop singing, Joel. One of the most fun parts of this event for me, and the hardest part, is putting together the actual award presentation speeches. They need to be just right to pay tribute to the honorees. Well, I lucked out this year with Leslie Anderson, because while I was thinking about what to say, it literally fell in my hands. Allow me to share a letter that some students sent to me. Dear Mr. Levitt, just wanted to drop you a short note to let you know how amazing it is that the East Brunswick Education Foundation has chosen Ms. Anderson to be one of the award recipients at the Partner in Excellence dinner this year. It's not often that a teacher, especially one like Ms. Anderson, gets acknowledged for the wonderful things she does for her students and the whole student body. When a friend of Ms. Anderson bought tickets for her to give to 4 of her students, we were honored that she chose 3 of us from Astrika, I hope I said that right, robotics to attend. Ms. Anderson has always been thankful to EBEF for helping us during our first year, and we know she looks forward to more collaboration in the future. Since we started working in the school, Ms. Anderson has always stood as our strongest supporter and biggest advocate. For the last 3 years, she has helped us organize, train, build, collaborate, and learn how to be a team. We have come so far in such a short time, and a huge part thanks to Ms. A. Not only does she keep us well fed with the best snacks, she pushes us to be our best, get out of our comfort zone, and strive to be the best versions of ourselves. Whether it's robotics, chemistry, job, friends, family, or just plain frustration, she's always there to listen, talk things through, and with a huge smile, make everything better and give us the skills to handle it better next time. So she can't build a robot herself. Ms. A has helped build everything else around us, our team, our skills, and ourselves, and she always has a smile. Ms. Anderson loves coaching, mentoring, teaching, and in general, standing in the back and watching her students progress. We're so glad that she will finally have to stand in front of people and graciously receive some of the accolades she deserves. If there's anything that we as a team can do to help honor her, please let us know. We would be glad to assist. Well, you just did. Thank you, Bhaskar Jain, Varun Malhotra, and Fiona Liu. But not just any teacher gets these accolades, and Leslie is everything those students say and more. And by more, I mean she seems to do everything. When we need volunteers from National Honor Society for an event, we ask Leslie. When robotics needed an advisor, they asked Leslie, who in turn, in her inimitable style, sought EBEF and my support to get funding for these kids. My kids never had Leslie, but they knew who she was. Everybody in that school knows who Leslie is. Here, I'll show you.
Hey, Marilyn, I need to ask you a favor.
Sure, Jack. What? Anything.
Well, for the Student Association, this year, when we do back to school nights, we have a whole lot of swag that we want to give away to get parents to donate.
Absolutely.
But instead of, bringing it back and forth, I was hoping there was somewhere we could keep it.
At the high school?
Yeah.
Oh, I might have some space in my prep room, but God, I'm going to have to check with Leslie about that, see what she thinks.
Hey, Jess, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. I have a quick question for you.
What's up?
Have you decided how many sections of AP Chemistry you're going to have next year and who's teaching them?
You know what? I think I have an idea, but I think I need to double check with Leslie before I can give you a final answer on that.
Hey, Matt, how are you?
Hold on, Jack. I just have a call coming in. Let me take it real quick.
No problem.
Hey, Mr. Knoppenberger, how you doing? What? All right. I got to go.
What's the matter?
Oh, no. I gotta do some contact tracing again.
So what's your procedure for that?
I think I got to check with Leslie.
So things have been good at the high school?
Things have been outstanding at the high school. Great
Good.
team, great staff. We're fortunate.
I'm glad. I know the beginning of the year had to be a little bit rough, but I'm sure things are in a groove by now.
They are, and our kids have been outstanding too. We're really great, blessed to have great kids, great staff, and the school year's off to a good start.
Good. I'm glad to hear that.
Excuse me, I'm so sorry.
What, Kathy?
There's an incident in A call. I need you to look at the cameras right away.
Not again. Okay, thank you,
Wow.
Kathy. Jack, hold on a second. You know what? Let me call Ed, our security, see what's going
All
on.
right.
You know what? No, that's not going to be a good move. Not Ed. Glenn. Let me call Glenn. That'll get it.
Zinco, yeah, good idea.
No, I don't think that's a good idea.
Who do you
We
call?
got to get, this has happened multiple times. I'm tired of it. We got to get this done once and for all, and we got to get it done right. I got the answer. I'm going to call Leslie. She'll get it done.
Of course.
Thank you for everything, Leslie. You were the first teammate I had the moment I walked in the building, and you've always been there and you've always been so helpful. I You're someone I always turn to when I need something. I can't thank you enough. It's good to have someone in the building who is so dedicated. You bleed green.
Congratulations, Leslie. I'm so excited for you. We wouldn't be able to survive without you. I appreciate everything you do for us. Thanks.
I just want to say congratulations again. I had a great time working with you at my time at East Brunswick High School. I respect and value your input so much. You are a true professional, an outstanding teacher, unlike any other, a great building rep for your union and your employees who work at the high school and within the district. And I'd like to thank you for everything that you do for the staff and students here in the East Brunswick Public School District.
Leslie, congratulations on a well-deserved award. Unfortunately, you need to do this virtually. You know me, if we were there in person, I'd give you one big hug right now and congratulate you. But let me tell you something, on behalf of the staff, the students, the administration, there's nobody that's more committed to doing what's best for our students than you are. This is a well-deserved award. Congratulations and enjoy your evening.
Leslie, I know you'd prefer one of those Unsung Hero Awards, but right now, the stage is yours as our partner in excellence.
I'll make sure everybody can hear me. I thought getting through my speech was going to be hard enough. Tonight is almost surreal, like something I dreamed up in my head. It's been about a year and a half since Jack first approached me in Mike Vanella's office, and with the good news that keeps on giving. And I remember saying something like, yeah, you're kidding. There's a outstanding building filled with outstanding people who do outstanding things every day. There's got to be a better choice. Jack said, no, it's not a mistake. We want to honor you. So the school year ends, new school year begins. We hear about a virus. COVID comes to the US, COVID comes to New Jersey, COVID comes to East Brunswick. We're out of the building, away from our kids, away from each other, in a very new and different world. No normal end-of-the-year activities, no EBEF Partner in Excellence dinner. School year comes to a close, new school year begins. So I started to think about what excellence means, and I quickly realized that excellence can't come without partnership. And I started to realize how blessed I am. I am a proud staff member at East Brunswick High School, where I live in the most extraordinary culture of excellence, encouraged by extraordinary people within my building. In fact, you might say excellence flows through every member of our staff and through every inch of my facility. I'm met with excellence from the very moment I approach my building, and I'm greeted by my school security officer, who's trying to do his best to make an odd situation feel normal. And he always leaves me with a smile. The day starts and there is this flurry of excellence. It's obvious to anybody walking inside our building. Every member of my staff is involved, and yes, I said mine, I get a little possessive. Every member of our staff is involved in this partnership where excellence ensues. Our bus drivers, custodians, instructional assistants, student aides, child nutrition workers, IT staff, child study team, SSOs, student assistance counselors, athletic trainers, attendance officer, school aides, instructional coach, nurse, media specialist, school counselors, my bookkeepers and my secretaries who are a blessing each and every day, my fellow teachers who have unparalleled compassion, passion, and heart, and my building administrators with unwavering resolve to support and protect staff and students in our building. What an awe-inspiring group to partner with every day. As a proud member of the East Brunswick Education Association under Dana Zimbicki, I encounter another partnership that affords me the ability to work in the midst of excellence. A group of passionate and steadfast professionals who fight for the right thing and honor and respect the craft of education. Students, that's a whole other thing. This is my 28th year teaching. The hundreds of sophomores that have walked into my room, so scared to be wrong. The juniors, the seniors, far too worried about a grade to worry about learning. The students that I've coached, the students that I've advised, the students that I've mentored. They each taught me something, building a partnership where excellence improves. So what does this have to do with the East Brunswick Education Foundation's Partner in Excellence Award? That's easy. What I do is not isolated. It's not independent. And if it's seen as excellent, then credit goes to many. The excellence being recognized is about relationships and lessons learned. To be selected from a superior group of people as a partner in excellence for the East Brunswick Education Foundation is astounding. To be considered a partner by a group of people who do not necessarily work in a school, but consider my work important and provide so much necessary support for all we do, almost leaves me speechless. It is a privilege to be recognized by the East Brunswick Education Foundation. I hope I can continue to be a partner with EBEF and collaborate with the EBEF Student Association beyond getting dodgeballs thrown at me. A few words of personal thanks. I am blessed to have two parents who are not just my heroes, they're superheroes. They have taught me lessons my whole life. My dad taught me things like, never work more than a 10-minute walk from where you live. You may need to go in there every once in a while. And he also taught me there is a fine line between precious and precocious, which I think was followed by the words, young lady. Mom taught me things like please and thank you go a long way, and family is the biggest blessing you can have. Well, I live less than a 10-minute walk to the high school, and I've added, I'm sorry, and what can I do to help, to those phrases that are important. But true family, that's the important partnership. That's the relationship that gives excellence. And what I learned about family, choose them wisely. East Brunswick High School has provided me a work family like no other. No single staff member is supportive, every single staff member is supportive, encouraging, madly talented, wildly creative, and has exceptional engineering skills as we continue to build planes in the air. I have the staunchest group of work moms, siblings, and incredible friends, and I am thankful for their continued professional and personal support. I am supported by a collaborative group of building administrators who push me forward, have time to listen, and support my sometimes wacky plans. Where else could I work with a big brother, a little brother, a twin brother, and my very best friend? Mike Vanilla, thank you for pushing me to be a stronger, more fierce educator, leader, and just in general person. Thank you, Sherry, for the most amazing 20-something years of friendship and family. I would be remiss if I did not thank my husband, because I know it is not always easy being Mr. Anderson. And I want to thank the East Brunswick Education Foundation for this tremendous honor and allowing me to share it with a most deserving high school staff. I would like to serve and continue as your partner in excellence, and for that I am truly humbled. Thank you for this honor, and good evening. Ooh.
I met our final honoree at our second dance-off event. Marge LaPresti, who's a past Partner in Excellence honoree, by the way, was unable to come back as one of our stage managers, so I came to dress rehearsal and I met Joanne. I had heard her name and seen it on many grants from her days as a media center specialist, but never met her in person. I remember panicking as the show ended. I ran to Marilyn Ryan and said, one more time, how do I say this name when I thank her? I have since learned. As I said, she was in the media centers at Hammersholt and East Brunswick High School. When we saw Joanne's name on some cool grants like Tech for Tots, David Adler comes to Bauman Rose School and help us grow with high-low, among many others. But as principal, she's moved into a supporting role on these grants. Joanne is a great influencer. We get the best bulletin board for Apples for Education when we need one at Irwin School. When there's a grant submitted that she's excited about or wondering if it needs a little push to get through, whenever I see her, we go into the typical, hey, Mr. L, yes, Mrs. C, hey, I want to tell you about this cool grant for a mobile classroom, and she goes on to tell me all the attributes of her grant. She wants to get my feeling on how it's going to be received, and it's usually a good reaction. But the best part about those interactions is that the conversations went on longer. I got to see Joanne in action as a principal, like the time we brought a Harlem Whizzer to Irwin School. One of the younger kids, probably in kindergarten, had a bit of a meltdown, and Joanne calmly and caringly escorted the student out of the gym so the rest of the class could enjoy the program. Joanne loves what she does and has a passion for kids and education, and that shows all over Irwin School, which is one of the reasons I love to go into that building. She and I have also had some long, but neither exhaustive nor exhausting conversations about leadership, as she has developed her style and grown into a leader of Irwin and a leader in the community and district. And somewhere along the line, I made a friend. All that aside, you have to admit, it's a tough name to have at the helm of an elementary school. See what I mean?
How do you say your principal's name?
Miss Wellwith. Miss O'Smellowith. Miss Kamelowicz.
Say the principal's name.
Mrs. Smolowitz. Miss Shomilowitz. Miss Shomelowitz. Mrs. Simrich.
Who's the principal of Irwin School?
Mr. Melowitz. Mrs. Chalowitz. Miss Shomelowitz. Shomelowitz. Mrs. Shomelowitz. Mrs. Shomelowitz. Congratulations, Mrs. Shomelowitz. Congratulations, Mrs. Shomelowitz. Congratulations, Shomelowitz. Congratulations, Miss Shomelowitz. Congratulations, Mrs. Shomelowitz. Congratulations, Shorelowitz.
Congratulations, Joanne, Mrs. C. Shemelowitz. So glad to have you as our partner in excellence.
Thank you, Jack. I think they did a pretty good job, all things being considered, that there's about like 27 vowels in that last name my husband adorned me with 27 years ago. So, good evening, and thank you so much to the East Brunswick Education Foundation for this recognition. I'm humbled and honored to be here to speak with you this evening. The EBEF is an organization near and dear to my heart, and I see its positive influence and impact at Irwin School every day. The EBEF's generosity to our schools of over $2 million has made a lasting impact on the lives of thousands of children, and I'm so grateful for their work. Congratulations to my fellow nominees, Jane Mueller, a true treasure of the East Brunswick community, and my friend, Leslie Anderson, an amazing human being and the best chemistry teacher in the world. I'm humbled to be nominated with such fine women. Congratulations as well to our Hall of Fame inductees for your contributions and dedication to the East Brunswick community. I feel incredibly lucky to be here to speak to you this evening. I've been thinking a little bit about luck and the many ways that you can describe it. Not many people will look at the events of 2020 and think about luck, but I think we can find some luck even in the most trying times. The Merriam-Webster Dictionary defines luck as to prosper or succeed, especially through good chance or good fortune. Although I think this is a pretty good definition, I ask you to bear with me as I offer my own definition of luck. Luck is having the privilege of having worked in many different schools in East Brunswick over the years. I've worked with so many incredible people, many of whom have become my dear friends. A group of people who have inspired me, changed me as an educator, and have shown me what it takes to be a top-notch teacher. When you work in East Brunswick, you really do work with the best teachers and support staff around. Luck is waking up every morning to the best, hardest job you've ever had, well, aside from parenting maybe, a job that is never the same 2 days in a row, but is always focused on one central mission: to make positive, meaningful impacts on the lives of the children, faculty, and staff that enter the doors of Irwin every day. Being a principal has taught me so much and given me many more gifts and valuable lessons than I can possibly express. Luck is having a front office staff and security team that looks after all the details that make the school building run like a well-oiled machine. And in their spare time, they also look after my personal well-being, which is such a gift, and I appreciate that care more than I can express. Luck is having a principal and administrator tribe who work collectively to ensure that every child in East Brunswick has an outstanding educational experience. They're also a group of friends who understand that sometimes, but not very often, even the principal has a bad day. And in those moments, they can be counted on to swoop in with compassion and support, and occasionally on Friday nights, maybe a little socially distanced wine. Luck is having 400 students come into our school, both in person and online, every day. Our students come from all walks of life, beliefs, and backgrounds, and they bond together to form a community of learners who are just as focused on being good people as they are in becoming the best educational versions of themselves every day. Luck is also watching them grow as people, to become more responsible, more independent, and most of all, more confident as scholars. Luck is also walking down the hallway and getting stopped every couple of feet because a student wants to give me a virtual hug or an elbow bump, or they just want to talk to me. Such as one day last week when one of my students said, "I love you, Mrs. Shemelowitz," and the next one said, "You know, you wore those shoes yesterday, you know." I love those moments so much. Luck is having an incredibly supportive PTA and parent community who work as our partners. No matter what we ask for, we are blessed with parent partners who seek to support us. How lucky can a person be to work with families that support, nurture, and love their kids, and then let us borrow them for several hours a day to do the same? Luck is having a teaching staff that you get to work with every day who comes together as a true family. A dedicated faculty and staff that make a difference in the lives of our students. They are professionals that do their best, no matter the effort, who never cease in their relentless pursuit of high-quality instruction and social and emotional support for our students and for one another. They've also become a faculty who no longer flinches or groans when I say, "I had this crazy idea." For example, I might say something like, "Hey guys, we're in a pandemic. Let's build a new way of teaching in just 3 days." No matter the request, this staff continually rises to each challenge and blows me away with their excellence. For most people in education, 2020 has already been the most challenging of our careers. But I will tell you this, if I have to go through a global pandemic, then these are the group of teachers I want to go through it with. They are also a community of people who build one another up when times are hard, and they provide a level of support and loyalty for one another and for me that I have never equally experienced in my 30 years in education. I walk away every day proud to be their partner in Irwin School's mission. I love you guys. Exceptional luck is the one that comes from having a family that loves and supports you no matter what, even when I tell them I'm going back to school for the umpteenth time. A family that understands the long hours and the nights I have to be out and all the takeout food that comes with being the family of the principal. But most of all, luck is being blessed with the two best children on planet Earth, and who make me proud to be their mom every single day, and a husband of almost 27 years who may say, "Lucy," when I have my next harebrained idea, but who is also a never-ending font of support, encouragement, and love. Jack, Maddie, and Henry, I love you guys so much. Thank you for loving me. So with my apologies to Merriam-Webster, my own definitions of luck describe a very clear picture. My experiences as a member of the East Brunswick Public Schools community is an embarrassment of riches. I am, by every definition of the word, a very lucky woman indeed. I thank you again for this honor and for your presence both in person and virtually tonight. Thank you.
Congratulations again to all our honorees. Before we wrap up, I have a few thank yous. First, did everybody see, or out in virtual land, we have our program, our ad journal, put together by Paul Schoen. Thank you, Paul. And with graphic support from Diana Toto, who is a designer like no other. Our dinner committee, Ellen Schur, Trish LaDuca, and Alexia DeLuca. Our tech team tonight, Lisa Ruggiero, Marilyn Ryan, Doreen Pugliafico, Mike Lasher, and the man himself, my technical right hand, my video producer, and so many other things, Mr. John McMenamin. Special thanks to Mike Vanella for giving me the EB mask so I didn't have to come up here wearing a Michigan mask. Even though we couldn't have a dinner, EBEF is having a catered dinner from Steakhouse 85 delivered to all 4 of our honorees at their houses for them and their family to enjoy and keep the night special. So I want to thank everybody for joining us tonight, whether you're here or whether you're virtual, and for your continued support and allowing us to honor these special people tonight. Good night.